Hello everybody, welcome back to Scrappy Adam and welcome back to 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life. We are on to the final three, day 28, and it is a sketch from Sarah Scraps, and it is what I would call traditionally Sarah Scraps. It is, it's just, I look at this sketch and think of Sarah Scraps. I love it. So we've got three distinct clusters of floral embellishments and mixed media, two landscape photos, journaling title. You can take it in whatever direction you want, and this would also be a perfect sketch for A4, 6x8, but we are doing 12x12. And I'm using Cocoa Vanilla Studio, primarily these days with a bit of Daydream as well. I've already been through 4 packs of ephemera from both collections, and we also have a couple of extras. We've got stickers from Daydream and These Days, as well as alphas and phone title stickers. And that is the paper from both collections. I have done prep and we've actually ended up building the layout. In terms of the paper, I have added some additional layers, but then that's as far as I've got. So, as I say, there are 3 distinct areas of embellishment, 3 clusters. Sarah has used florals for her sketch. Obviously, you can use whatever you want. I am actually going to use some florals, but I'm going to bring in some rainbows, hearts, and houses as well, and see where we go from there. So I am scrapping a couple of photos of a path, which sounds weird, but it is a path that Tom has done, which is amazing, and it's documenting the little things. And I have an idea for a title. It may involve placing the title at a different place on our layout, just so I can fit it on. But anyway, that is what I am documenting, because the good, the bad, the ugly, the small, the big, the little, everything gets documented, and I want to document it. So that's what we're doing. Random photo of path and pebbles. So that is the layout done, really, and I have stuck pretty close to the sketch in terms of 2 landscape photos in the middle. There are no extra layers on here, but I decided I would add them. So I've basically used 3 sheets of 6x8, 1, 2, 3. This one, they're all full size, and then 2 sheets of 12x12, both of which I believe are from Daydream. Yeah, I think so. And then I've also used this as an additional element as well. Now on the sketch, we've got our title up here, and then we've got a cluster here, here, and here. I am going to focus my clusters here, here, and here, but I think I may move the title down here. I'm not sure yet, but we will see. So I was thinking, I've got some words from the word ephemera, and I was thinking for titles, I could use the little things, make a house a home. Just because it's path, it's a little thing, it's not a big thing, and that is the point of this. So I'm thinking that's what I might like to do. So another option is I could have it up here, so we could have the little things, make a house a home. So we could do that as well. We could also extend, or rather change the orientation and have this down here. The little things, make a house a home. No, I think I might do it up here actually. I'm thinking, let's do that. So, what I am going to do is hope that we have the right letters. So, T-H-E, the little things. T-H-I-N-G-S. And then we've got M-A-K-E-A-H-O-O-U-S. Yeah, I think we can just about do it. So I'm going to get the title on, just because it's going to take me a while, because I'm going to faff about with these small letters, and then we'll come back and build up our clusters, layer some extra bits. I've got all the ephemera out. I've got one of these fabric hearts from Daydream. I've got some wood veneer houses and cameras, and lots of These Days and Daydream ephemera for our clusters. So give me a moment and I will be back with you. Okay, so I have done the title, changed it slightly in that I didn't use the pre-done the, because it looked a bit odd having two of them up here and one down here. So we've got the little things, make a house a home. It looks more like you can see it better in real life, but I'm happy with that. So we've made the sketch work for ourselves by making the title longer and extending it. It kind of still fits with the sketch because we've got title and journaling, so it just works for us in a better way. Now, if I look at the stickers, we've got a few journaling sort of spots, which I did think we could use as a base element down here. But if I come over to the ephemera, I do have these pieces here. So I'm thinking it would be good to use one of these at some point. I'm thinking here as an additional element, just so I can make a little note. One thing I have pulled out of both collections is rainbows and houses, and I do want to use quite a few of both. So I'm just going to sort this out quickly. Got loads of floral ephemera from both collections, so let's pull them there. And then up here we have got lots of florals, but I've also got lots of floral clusters and different bits and bobs. Okay, so we're just putting that there. Let me just, I love this piece, the mason jar scene. Okay, so they can go back there. So we've got quite a few houses and quite a few rainbows. So I'm wondering if we could do something with them. Quite like the idea of that sign going somewhere. So I want to create a couple of clusters with the florals, but I also want to create a couple with the houses. I'm thinking we'll do the houses one here. So let's see. So we've got these 4 houses are from Daydream, and then we've got a couple from These Days. I noticed Daydream ephemera is a lot thicker than These Days. I'm not sure if they changed something. It's still amazing quality because it's still cocoa vanilla. Just pointing out that I can definitely notice a difference. I'm going to use a bit of fun foam just to give us that variation in dimension and interest. So we've got a couple of houses there, and now underneath here I'm going to put this one, I think. So that one is going to come here, and I'm going to take that one off the rainbow paper here just to give it that little bit of difference. Again, creating that texture, dimension, interest, and all of the fun stuff. Okay, happy with that. Let me just check. This one needs to come up a little bit, I think. Yeah, let's pop this one. Now, I don't mind covering some of the photo because, of course, as I say, it is just a path at the end of the day. But I don't want to cover all of it. So I think about here. I know you can only see the top half at the moment. So we've got a little bit going on there. And then just to give us a bit of interest, I am going to add a couple of florals, just single pieces over here I think, and I will use a foam dot for a couple of them for dimension. There we go. And a blue one as well, just because we've got, it's a very pastel collection, pastel collection, but I do love it nonetheless, which is a surprise for me because I'm not usually these sort of colours kind of guy, but it's cocoa vanilla, you have to make an exception, don't you guys? So I've used this mason jar down here as a little extra detail, just because I love it so much, to be honest, and I need it on this layout. Now, for up here, I feel like I need to add something. I don't know why, I just do. So I'm going to add, this is like an envelope with a floral explosion. So I'm going to add that up there just to give it a bit of detail, along with a word strip. This is an ephemera piece that says Our Happy Place, and that's going to give us a bit of a landing spot for that cluster, and we've got quite a large cluster going on here. Then over here I'm going to add this journaling card about here, along with this sign, and this is just a sign, it just says home, throwing it about, just says home, love that. So let's pop that about there. And then let's see, these rainbows might not actually make it onto the layout, which is okay, I don't mind. Just want to see what florals. So I do want to add a couple of florals. It wouldn't be a Sarah Scrap sketch without some florals as far as I'm concerned. So they need to make it on to this layout. So I'm just going to layer up some of these. I'm going to use the florals from these days for this one down here. When you're layering up, you want to start, or I find that I start with a bigger piece and then work your way down to a smaller piece. And for the bigger piece, try and get something that's not necessarily multicoloured, but it's got a couple of extra details. So that's going to then make it easier for you to bring in other things to layer with it. So for example, with that floral, I brought in that shade of pink, but we've also got the green and the leaf, which means that we can then bring in another leaf and it'll tie in using the extra colours. I don't know if that actually made sense. It made sense in my head, but hopefully you know what I mean. And I'm just going to sort of cascade some florals coming down the page here, and a final dark blue one to tie in all the blues that we've used, because we've got the blue in the background paper, got like a navy blue, and we've got these light blues, so it ties it all in nicely there. And then up at the top, I think I'm going to dive right into this cluster, which is actually from the ephemera pack rather than the floral ephemera pack, and then use just a couple of extra pieces to layer on top, again starting with a piece with leaves to give us the great sounding off for other elements. So I'm going to pop that one up on a bit of foam like so. So not big clusters, just a spot of something going on there. I think I want to add a leaf coming out of this one. I don't want it to be that big though, so I'm going to just chop that off. Use some adhesive and then tuck it in underneath here, and you will never know that we have chopped that off. And then that is the rest of that ephemera. This is Daydream. We've also got some black and white outlines, which could be a fun addition, and also tie in our titles, which are chalk effect. That's what it reminds me of anyway. So it's like a lighter version of them. I don't know, I think the titles come from Daydream as opposed to these days. And we've also got this piece as well. So I've done the same with this one, just chopped it off because I don't want it to be a large element. Just to give us a little bit. So we're going to pop that there, and then I'm going to tuck this in as well. It's just giving us all the different textures and layers. Okay, now to finish this off, I am going to add a couple of wood veneer houses. So we've got this one from Jen Hadfield that says Hello Home, and this larger one, which I think is probably going to be too large. So let's bring in one of these smaller ones. This is just from a pack from a local craft store, and I'm going to layer one in over here. I'm trying to use up all the extras, like the stuff that doesn't go with a collection. So we've got some Chardonnay wood veneer, got camera up there. Cameras are one of those embellishments you can use with anything. Literally any layout can have a camera on, because presumably you've got a photo. So it works, doesn't it? And then to finish us off and nicely, I am going to use this heart, and I'm going to use it here. For these hearts, I just put a bit of double-sided tape on it, trying to actually think. I'm going to put it down here where it says home. So this is a different kind of layout in terms of the colours and style for me. I would say it's outside of my comfort zone, but I love it nonetheless. And we've actually stuck quite close to the sketch. Just having a quick look at the stickers, I don't think I need to add much, but I am going to add one that says Home Sweet Home, because obviously that's what we're documenting. So I'm going to cover some of the hearts there, and love this place works nicely as well, I think, which we will pop down here. And then I will add a little bit of journaling here, and that will be done. Thank you so much for today's inspiration to Sarah and Christy. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I did waffle a bit, I do apologise. Hopefully it made sense, hopefully it inspired you, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for all the likes, comments, subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I am going to sit down and go through all of your comments later on, because I really do appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I will be back for day 29, the penultimate of series 12, and I look forward to concluding this series, because then we've done it, guys. Lots of exciting things to come, so thank you so much for sticking around. I will see you soon. Bye for now.